Hello and welcome to today's video. My name is Alicia and on this channel I talk all things luxury, life and fashion, so if you're interested, please stick around. I thought I would break up the travel content a little bit and bring you guys the first unboxing of 2024. Now, I want to say full disclosure that my luxury wishlist video was actually filmed mid 2023 in December, and then I purchased this specific item late December 2023, and then due to a slightly chaotic work schedule and a few other factors, it actually sat in a click and collect for a while, but we are going to unbox it together today. So, little bit of a backstory. Bubs and I have actually been wanting to get a coffee machine for a little while. I used to drink a lot of coffee and then I gave it up freshman year, and Bubs is now also drinking about 2 to 3 cups per day. So we've decided we are going to be purchasing a coffee machine so that we have something at home that we can make on the go, especially if we don't leave enough time to get to a cafe. And we don't actually have a lot of cafes around us either, so we always kind of just get stuck in a let's just get to work and see what's available situation. So Nespresso is the brand that I have the most experience with. So my mum owned a machine for a long time, and before I actually gave up coffee as well, I had an espresso machine as a freshman. Now, when I did give up caffeine, I gave my machine to my mum because at that point she'd had hers for about 10 years and mine was less than a year old. For obvious reasons, I'm not going to go back and ask for that machine back, so we kind of started looking into a brand new machine. And right off the bat with Nespresso, you have 2 options, and they are the 2 ranges that are available. That is the original range and the Vertuo range. The Vertuo is definitely a newer range. I think it's only a couple of years old, so there's not a lot of machines to choose within that category. One of my biggest requirements was I wanted a built-in milk frother, and that's because my old machine had a built-in and my mum's previous machine did not. Her machine came with a milk frother like this, and I don't know if it was because we could never get it to work properly or it just didn't work properly, but it was absolutely horrific to use. It was so hard to use, you could never get it done right, and the milk just generally 9 times out of 10 did not froth. So for me, it was an absolute requirement that it was a built-in milk frother. I didn't really care whether it was like a little container or whether it was a frothing wand, but it needed to have something that was attached to the machine and not a separate piece. At the time when we were really looking into coffee machines and we went into Nespresso stores and we went into Meijer and like Harvey Norman and David Jones, we genuinely couldn't find a Vertuo one with a built-in milk frother. So for us, that kind of made the decision for us that we would be going with the original range. And we did actually have a machine picked out, and it was this machine. However, a month before we actually made the purchase, I managed to find a Vertuo machine with a built-in milk frother. So I would like to introduce to you, in the biggest box possible, our new coffee machine. This is the Nespresso Vertuo Creatista in stainless steel. Let's unbox her together. So I'm going to show you what comes in this box and talk a little bit about some of the promotions and redemptions that we actually are eligible for with this particular purchase. So first up, we have a lot of information about the machine and Nespresso as a whole, and I'm sure I will maybe read this later. Moving on, we have the milk jug. So as I mentioned before, an absolute requirement was a built-in milk frother, and this particular machine comes with a wand. So in order to be able to use that milk wand, you need a milk jug. So it does come included. It's made of stainless steel. It's got some markings on the inside, kind of like a minimum line and a maximum line as well. Next up, we have this box, which actually consists of 12 capsules that we can try out. So if you open it up like this, or 12 capsules, and their tasting notes and characteristics and intensity are listed here. And we have the 12 capsules here. So this, I believe, actually comes with every single machine, whether you buy it out of the original or the Vertuo, but it is a chance for you to try the capsules. That being said, you can actually walk into any Nespresso store and you can grab a coffee with them. You can talk to one of their specialists and kind of see if there's something that is more catered to your personal taste, because this is only a snapshot of what is available through Nespresso. And that being said, I can also tell that there is at least one decaf one in here. Now, when it comes to the actual machine, it comes in several parts. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to pick everything out and then kind of break down the components for you. Okay, so the main body kind of comes in two parts, but as I was pulling it out, it turned into a third part. So I will say this is the biggest coffee machine that I've seen. It is significantly bigger than the one my mom previously owned, and it is still bigger than the one that I purchased as a freshman. I will insert a photo of what that one looks like just so you can kind of get a rough idea of a product that is very, very similar in the original range. First up, this is the water container. There is a max line that sits here, and this is something that always needs to be filled. I just fill it straight out of the tap. I know some people have preference to spring water, for example, but I'm just not that picky when it comes to the type of water that's in my machine. Now, you would have seen me holding this earlier. This is the tray of the coffee machine. Now, I will put all of this together and insert a little how to use video. It may take a couple days because I do want the chance to kind of play around with the machine a little bit before I make a video for you, but I will include a little short tutorial at the end of the video. Finally, this is the main body of the machine. I'm not going to fiddle around with it too much because this is actually much heavier than I thought it was going to be. But I'm going to explain it in the simplest terms I can. So this is where the capsules go. You twist the top and it opens up, and then you do the exact same thing to get it back down. So twist and it locks. This is the wand. So this is the milk wand that I talked about previously. And even though it is a milk wand, it is actually automated. So you don't have to do anything when it comes to how long it needs to be frothing for. For example, it's pretty much set on a timer, and you love her and you leave her. Okay, we are going to move on to pricing now. So this particular machine at full recommended retail value is $1,099. Now, we did grab it as part of the Boxing Day sales, and so it only ended up being $879.20. Now, this was purchased through Maya, so not directly with Nespresso, and Maya did have a longer running Boxing Day sale this year. They didn't really call it a Boxing Day sale, it was just a stock take thing, and it kind of ran until the 2nd of January as well. So it was definitely a longer period, but I will say, if you are in the market for a coffee machine, whether it is a Nespresso or not, coffee machines go on sale quite regularly throughout the year, and if you aren't in a rush to get your hands on it, it definitely is worth the wait, especially if there is a supplier redemption involved. Now, what is a supplier redemption? A supplier redemption is something you can redeem directly from the supplier, in this case Nespresso, when you purchased an item that is eligible. So for us, that supplier redemption is 100 capsule pre-packaged box. Now, I will order that box because you actually require the serial number of the coffee machine to do so. So I'm going to hop online and do that, and when the box arrives, I'm going to show you what you get in it. And it ends up being a larger version of this box. You get 12 capsules here, but you get 100 capsules in the other box. And so it is something that is worth looking out for. It doesn't run all year round supplier redemptions, and from what I've seen around, Nespresso generally have 2 supplier redemption offers, and one is a 60 capsule pack and one is a 100 capsule pack. Now, the difference in what machine you get will determine whether you qualify for the 60 or for the 100. So here we have the box that we got. Now we picked this up as a click and collect from our nearest store. Now there's 10 sleeves in there for a total of 100 capsules, and this definitely gives you a better insight into the full range that Nespresso carry. Now remember, you can always pop in store and speak to one of their specialists if you have any questions about tasting notes or intensities that you would like to clarify. Now, moving on to how the machine actually works. Now, this is the milk frothing jug. I'm pouring it up to the line that says number 1. That's just where I prefer it. We're going to pop it into the wand. Now, up here, you'll see some of the settings that you play around with. The setting that I am using here is for a cappuccino style setting. We let the milk froth. Now, the milk can only be done while the capsule is not being used or vice versa. This is the particular capsule that I'm trying at the moment from the 100 pack. We pop it into its little slot and we close the lid, which is admittedly harder to do one-handed with a camera than usual. I press the button twice for a short release of the coffee. Here we have it coming out. Now you can release it in 2 different methods, a short or a long. I use a short because I don't drink it as a long black. I add milk. Once that is going, I take the milk off the wand and let the wand purge itself with hot water. You can see that the water little indicator, my little red friend, is coming out, which means it's time to tip out the excess water in the tray. We pour the milk into the coffee and we have a cappuccino. That is it for today's video. If you have any questions, comments, or queries, please feel free to leave them down below. If not, I will see you in the next one. Thank you so much for watching and enjoy the rest of your day wherever you are. Bye!